It's fucking horse! Here's a really good fucking idea. How about we make a movie of the spin-off comic from the Archie comics? And if you like Archie, well, too bad, because he's fucking horse. It's supposed to be a satirical comedy on how big business owns everything. And I get that, but after watching this, wow, is it ever a hypocritical movie? And I bet those of you who are watching this didn't even realize this movie ever existed. Well, get ready to flash back to what life was like in the early 2000s. This is Josie and the Pussycats. The movie begins as this boy band is just doing a concert outside of an airport for some reason, as they set off onto their next world tour, already giving me flashbacks that the only music in the world back then was boy bands. And then it begins. The advertisements! It's fucking outrageous in this movie! Look at Target everywhere bounce, and this is just the beginning. While they're discussing the world tour, the band realizes there's some subliminal track on their latest single. So their producer just fucking bails out of the plane and lets the band die. This is all before the credits, so this is where the movie's trying to suck you in. Couldn't give less of a rat's ass. Then we get the opening credits, and get used to this fucking song, cause it plays 9,000 times throughout the movie. I really can't stand that voice. And by the way, movie, thanks for letting me know that this guy's the sexiest guy in Riverdale. The movie literally had to tell me this? I know it's for the girls, but do the girls really have to be told who they think is sexy or not? Well, surprise, surprise, they fucking suck, and no one ever comes to see them. They usually play their gigs in bowling alleys and get ripped on by, I don't know, the popular girls, I suppose? But it's okay, because they got a unity that can't be broken. Josie has the talent, Val's the rock and will be there for you whenever you need her, and Melody is just dumb.
I could be here and in there. And I could be in the living room and in the family
That's it. Her character this entire movie is just that. Well, they realize they can't sit on their asses anymore, and then if they want to be rock stars, they're gonna have to work for it. Which leads to this montage.
The best things in life for free, but you can keep them for the birds and bees. Give me more.
Not only are you shoving every product in the world in my face, but you're ruining a perfectly good Beatles song!
Get your ass back here.
Meanwhile, that record producer's just driving around Riverdale trying to find a band, because that's what record producers do. He almost runs over the Pussycats and decides, what the fuck, let's sign them. Well, they take the deal, and they don't even have to audition. That's how life works, right? Meanwhile, we get introduced to Fiona, who's the record label president. She explains through subliminal messaging through their tracks that they're forcing kids to buy shit that they absolutely don't need.
Anything.
You mean the exact same thing this movie's fucking doing? Look at the windows here, they say Revlon? What the fuck? And I get it, the movie's trying to be ironic, but the point is that they never put focus on it. So it's almost like they're being hypocritical than ironic. So they get tricked into recording their song that ends up putting the subliminal messages in the background on the track. And guess what song they choose to use? For fuck's sakes. And of course, the song goes #1 on the top of the Billboard's list. You get to meet Fiona, who's a fucking weirdo.
I'm such a pig. No, you're not. What did you just say?
She ends up acting like she's a 12-year-old girl. It's super awkward. The Pussycats start to add up that something's not right. So to avoid them from suspicion, Wyatt hands Josie a CD that has a subliminal message on it itself saying to get rid of the other two members of the Pussycats and just go solo. While this is happening, Carson Daly is trying to kill the other Pussycats with his friend? I mean, that's a fucking left turn, isn't it? So they come back and they're like, hey, Carson Daly tried to kill us. And she's like, doesn't give a shit. She's just a super huge bitch. I mean, this is really nothing that you weren't expecting 10 minutes into this movie. That the band gets together, they become famous, they break up, and guess what happens at the end? So she's super brainwashed from the CD she's been listening to, and literally she trips and snaps out of it. That's it. That's all it takes. Well, she finally discovers that the machine was doing those subliminal messages. And I don't know how she does, because they're not any smarter than anybody else that came before them. So she gets busted and forced to play a concert, because all the audience members have these cat ears that when they hear the music, it'll make them forced to buy even more shit. Like, this is the plan all along for the entire movie. They end up having a stupid little cheesy fight scene, which doesn't really make any sense, because why would they? Fiona accidentally breaks the machine trying to attack Josie, and then out of nowhere, the US government just shows up and shuts them down. Yeah, they knew the whole time, but they didn't do anything about it. Well, the band gets back together and they have one last thing, to see if people actually do like their music. Which of course they do, but they couldn't finish this movie off without some icing on the shit cake. Remember the sexiest man in Riverdale? Okay, usually you can't even have a conversation with the person next to you at a concert, let alone from across the fucking floor. How is this even happening? Yeah, fucking right. Josie and the Pussycats. Well, what can I say? It's a pretty useless piece of shit. I mean, what's the point? I mean, what was its purpose? It didn't tell a really good story. It didn't make a lot of money. And it's not like people were waiting their whole lives for a Josie and the Pussycats movie. Not like something like Batman Superman. All I keep thinking is that this was one hell of a long commercial. Now, all the advertisement companies said that they didn't pay any money at all to have their stuff advertised in this film. I think that's bullshit. So this was the director's idea, and MGM Studios was completely okay not taking one dime from McDonald's? Yeah, I doubt it. I give it a Tara Reid before plastic surgery out of 10. Stay tuned next time for...
Until now.
Don't forget to comment and subscribe, and please like us on Facebook at Neckbeard Reviews.